Welcome back to the SMT YouTube channel. Alright folks, we're glad to have you for this one. News from Verizon. They're raising funding. Let's take a look at what they're doing here and why. So what they're raising is $10 billion, and they're going to do this with bond sales. And the reason they're doing this is specifically to fund the Frontier deal. This is all being reported by Bloomberg Market Screeners, where I found the story. Now, why exactly is Verizon doing this? Well, very typically, publicly traded companies will sell bonds in order to raise capital. And whatever the corporate actions may be, it might be for growth. In this case, that's not Verizon. Acquisitions or operations. Okay, those two things sound like the Verizon case, right? With Frontier Communications. Now, the reason they do this particular structure is to retain ownership and control of the company, right? They don't want to issue shares and then lose, value to the shareholder. Now, this, you selling stock and all those kind of things, this is just a way to kind of a different way to finance debt. Kind of like, for those that buy these bonds, they're the investor into the company, right? And they can, and it's repaid with interest. And depending on the rate, it could actually make some money sense. So Verizon maintains ownership and control in this. They probably are going to lower their borrowing cost due to the high rates, interest rates. At this current moment, the Fed still has a lot of cutting to do. This does give Verizon some flexibility. There's probably some tax benefits to this as well. And, just bringing diversity to the way that they raise funding. And of course, Verizon is very sensitive to what they have in terms of their debt sheet. The debt load at Verizon is over $120 million, if I remember correctly. $120 billion, excuse me. They may actually be below that now, but I'm almost positive that it's somewhere between like 117 or $120 billion. So they're very cognizant and aware of the balance sheet and how much debt they have, and they want to be very careful, creative, and money-wise in how they handle this type of a transaction. But for those of you that have been tracking the Frontier Communications acquisition, that's expected to close early next year, I believe. And then you'll start to see an integration of Frontier Communications becoming Verizon Fios. Plans, the structure of the plans, the costs, all those kind of things. Upgrades, very soon to places that maybe have, old copper and things of that nature. Big reinvestment into the fiber network, right? And that's gonna make Verizon a formidable opponent against even a company that's been scaling fiber like AT&T. But these are exciting times. But clearly, you could see the investment is forthcoming into financing this huge deal, which, if I remember correctly, was valued upwards of $20 billion, if I remember correctly. I have to go back and check my notes, but I think that's what it was. Anyways, let me know what you think about the investment from Verizon, how they're handling it. Clearly very cognizant and aware of their financial situation. But drop me some comments. Like, share, and subscribe. Check out some more videos. We'll see you guys soon on the next one.